All right. Well, to anyone watching, welcome. Looks like there's someone here. Thanks for watching. For my last day of drawing my dog this year, I decided I'm going to just try a live stream and give this a go. And if no one watches, no problem. But it's been a year of doing fun things, challenging things, and a lot of that is like failing in public, which I think is like has been a really good practice. So this could be like the best example of that. But anyway, so this drawing, so I did the sketching, I did the line work for this drawing, and obviously I did it all ahead of time. And I'm going to spend this time just doing some watercolor to color in my dog. And hopefully it's a clear enough picture that my dog is crossing the finish line. And so this represents me drawing my dog every day this year to learn just to begin learning how to draw, learning really like the skills necessary to be a professional illustrator. And so, yeah, so I thought it'd be fun to just finish the year out this way. And I am sick, or at least I have a cough. And so I apologize in advance if I cough while I'm doing all this, but I'm going to go ahead and get started just because I'm limited on the amount of time that I can spend on this. I have to end it right around 5:30, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. But I'm incredibly grateful to anybody who's watched videos throughout the year, anybody who's commented or subscribed. It's been really neat to like show the work that I've been doing and interact with folks as I've been learning things. And you will notice that I did not erase all of my sketch lines because I ran out of time to do that. And it was more important to get started than to erase all that stuff. So it will not look as clean as you would usually want it to look in the end. But yeah, huge thanks to everyone who spent any time watching my videos. It's I really appreciate that. And I love the comments that people have made. I love hearing about other artists' experience, other artists that are in the same place or just getting started or like way ahead of me. I love hearing all, from everyone and just everyone's different perspectives. So thank you so much to everyone who's interacted with my stuff. I really appreciate it. I'm going to use a smaller brush for some of this stuff. My dog is not actually orange, so I'm going to largely just go with it, but I'm going to add some brown and a little bit here. And as I've been thinking about my plans for next year. So my plan for this whole year was really just to like get started at all with drawing and really like establish a drawing habit, hopefully learn some fundamentals, and then also yeah, just like get closer to just understand more and more about what it being an illustrator looks like and what the career field looks like, and just do like a lot of learning and try and just get started at all and consistently do that throughout the year. And I feel like I've effectively done that. And so it actually feels weird to be at the end of the year and now to be thinking through, like, I guess I don't have to stop drawing my dog. I mean, my YouTube channel has like my dog reference in it. My dog's name is Watson, by the way. I've never mentioned that. I wasn't like necessarily trying to be covert, but Watson is his name. I actually have a video that I'm going to put out that kind of talks about his backstory and more about him so that people understand who is this mysterious subject of all my drawings throughout this whole year. But I don't have to stop drawing next year, but I absolutely want to continue drawing every day just because it's been so valuable for me to draw every day. And I don't think I'm going to I think the focus of my next year, and I do think I'll have a whole separate video on my goals for next year and just how I think through setting goals, art goals, and specifically in view of being an illustrator. But I don't think I'll require myself to draw my dog every day. I think I'll draw him probably regularly, but just because I feel like he's like the staple of what I've been doing. But I think I'm really going to focus a lot on the human figure and facial expressions, because I think like that's probably the most fundamental thing to what I want to be doing as an illustrator is representing the human form or just like forms in general. But like I want to know how to more like from like in a more structured way, like study forms and anatomy and get good at human figure drawing and then gesture. I think gesture is really, really huge in illustration and facial expressions. And I feel like if by the end of next year, excuse me, sorry, if by the end of next year I feel really comfortable, I don't think I will have like mastered drawing, doing figure drawing. But if I've made a lot of progress and feel comfortable doing figure drawing by the end of next year, like that's huge. I think I think you can get away with like if you have really compelling characters, you can get away with learning the rest of it over time. Like I think you have to learn all of it, learn how to do backgrounds and really like master all of it, master environments and props and perspective and all those things, landscapes. But I think if I want to do illustration and so I want to tell visual stories, and I think that mastering figure drawing, I think, will go a long way for that kind of work. And so I think I'm probably gonna kind of do just like monthly challenges for myself and just say in the first month I am probably going to focus on like the whole human figure and have like a daily drawing goal. And it might be like draw 10 quick sketches of a person every day, something like that. And then the next month it might be like draw 10 heads every day, or it might just be like one head every day. It can be more chill than having to draw 10 of something every day. But I like the idea of drawing 10 of something every day because it means that I would really have to work on drawing quickly and working quickly. And I think that's a weakness of mine. So I think it would be valuable to kind of force myself to work quickly. All right, I'm trying to not feel like you can make a mistake with a lot of other colors, but it's a lot worse if you make a mistake with black. But and I'm thinking a lot about trying to put together a story next year. I did talk about this in the last video I put out, but I would like to write a story and illustrate a story next year. And sorry, just trying to not totally mess up his eyes. I feel like eyes go a long way, and people enjoy drawing. So if you mess them up, it's a big deal. All right. Yeah, I would love to illustrate a story over this next year. So yeah, I think my daily drawing goals will be like more quick sketch focused, I think, and just trying to learn some fundamentals of figure drawing. And I have to mix some colors off screen here. It'll take me a minute. And then but then I think if I do like one finished and like higher quality drawing a month for my schedule, that's pretty reasonable. It's not crazy. I would love to be like, I'm gonna do one finished. I think I want to be darker than that. I'm gonna do one finished like illustrated story every single month, but that is very unrealistic for me, given my schedule, work schedule, and how busy we are. Just looking at our kids' schedule for the spring, and it's really fun. Spring sports are really fun, and all the extracurricular stuff. But it can be busy. This spring is actually not going to be as busy as we have been in other seasons. We had one, I can't remember if it was this summer. It seems like it might have been a couple of summers ago, but we were so busy that afterwards I thought never again. It was like one of those seasons where I just hope that we never get, if we can avoid being that busy ever again. Like our boys were tired. They were like, why are we doing so many things? And it's fun to be busy, but I think we all felt like we couldn't get a breath, or catch our breath. And that, I think, was before I started doing any of this stuff. So excuse me again, but I could not have done this stuff, I don't think, if we were running as much as we were running, like as busy as we were in that season. So I think I'm going to do the finish line here and then do some shading after that. And as I was drawing this finish line, I thought it's pretty abstract with like where it's going here. Like it's, I think it just barely makes sense in reality. Also, at this very moment, I'm realizing how careful I have to be trying to quickly paint around letters and do lettering. So for a quick painting, doing the letters is fairly hard. All right. I have to remember actually put an L there. It says finish, and then line would be on the other side. And I have to remember that so I don't accidentally paint over the L. Someone recommended to me a while ago when I was trying to figure out a good medium to learn lighting and shading with. Because for me, it seems like when you're learning lighting and shading, you you really want a medium that you can back out of. Like if you go too dark, you want to be able to lighten it up easily. And I had been working with alcohol markers just because they're quick. But I know that there's ways to lighten alcohol markers, but man, is it hard. It's like, I feel like it's a very uncontrollable medium for something that you want to have a lot of gradation in, and you want to be able to like adjust things as you're going. And someone recommended I use watercolor, and I really appreciate that because that is absolutely proven to be true. I really like it. I just need to get faster at mixing the colors, because I feel like I take an idiotic amount of time mixing the colors. And I'll like sit down to draw at like 12:30 at night, and I'll spend like the first half hour just trying to mix my colors, and like that's not right. Like people shouldn't be mixing colors. I mean, and there's like generally this kind of color palette. I'm not like doing some sort of like crazy advanced color palette or anything. So I don't think people should be taking 30 minutes to mix colors. Anyway, so I'm working on being faster at that. But I'm going to do red. I think I'm going to wait a minute to do the red lettering just in case the yellow isn't dry yet. And at the very last minute, I decided to do this 2024 banner up here. And I realized, wow, that's a lot of space to cover. So maybe I shouldn't have done that. But I do need to, I think I'm going to work on doing that later. If I have time. I don't think I'm going to have time. So I'm going to start doing the lettering. Is this too big? I think this is okay. Just going to go super bright red. And then I'll do the shading. Wow, this is very bright, and it is not what I really want. I'm going to darken it just a little. It's like blowing my eyeballs bright. So I'm going to pull it back a little bit. But I'd love to hear, and I've been checking out like other artists' YouTube videos about like reflecting on yearly goals, and I think there are a bunch, but like there's not as many as I would have thought there would be. I think it's a really cool, I think reflecting on your accomplishments in different areas is really helpful and really cool, because even if you like were way off the mark, there's so much to be learned there. And you can almost always learn something, and even if it was like this year was a total failure in this one area, if you were working at it a lot of the time, there's more growth than you realized, and until you start reflecting on that, and really start asking like, well, what actually happened? And even if it turns out like, nope, there was objectively no growth in this area that I wanted to grow in, you can always ask like, why? But I'm really messing up the lettering here. It looks choppy, but you can say like, was it just because I wasn't like focused enough, or didn't make it a big enough priority, or did it turn out like I didn't really want that thing as much as I thought I did? Or is it, this year was a really difficult year, and it was not the year to make huge progress in this one area, and just be like gracious about that, because those seasons and those years always happen, and I think one thing that's cool about reflecting on art goals and setting goals in general is that if you're focusing on a goal almost no matter what, over the course of a season and certainly a year. I messed up that end. But like no matter what, there's going to be progress. Like if you're really focusing on something, you really learn the impact of compounding progress, even if it's like every single day on a given day, you couldn't see any progress, but you were just trying to do something. Just doing that like 1% activity every day, over the course of a year, that's 365% increase, right? That's massive. And even if it was like 1% per month, at the end of the year, it's 12% growth over the year, which is huge. There's all kinds of things that don't grow 12% in a year if you're looking at like businesses and things. So I think it's cool, and just focusing on something, like the more you focus on something, the more like you can learn about what else you need to focus on and how to make better progress. And then the more you can, then the next time you can, like, okay, how do I make next year better? And then how do I make the next year better? And it's cool because you can really develop that a lot. Okay, so I don't want them to be quite as orange, and so I'm gonna mix in a little bit of brown with my orange on the side here and trying to add some shading. My normal inclination is to do a lot of shading at this point, and I really like, like probably the closer things are to like highly rendered, the more I like them. Or at least that's like my normal instinct is like to do highly rendered things, but I'm just gonna try and keep myself from doing that this time for time's sake. Just gonna say that the light is coming from over here, and I think adding shading is cool because it's kind of like when like everything just looks really flat until you add shading, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, it's like a cool cooler piece. So we'll see if that ends up being true about this one. Maybe this one will be like, nope, I messed it up when I did all the shading. Hopefully, I think wherever this one gets to at 5:30, I'm just gonna stop. I can probably, I don't know, probably have to stop it. 5:30. I haven't like watched live stream videos very much, but the ones that I have, they are crazy long. I think that makes the most sense, for at least for like drawing stuff, because it just takes a long time to draw. But man, it's like it's cool that people want to like settle in with a live stream for hours at a time, and people do that. I'm sure everyone is not as new to this as me, but there are live streams out there that are like hours long, like 3 hours long. And I didn't realize there were rules until I looked into all this. There are rules about who can even have a live stream on YouTube. Did you know you have to have at least 50 subscribers to do a live stream? I guess they're like, they don't want to soak up their bandwidth if they think it's like a really low chance that anyone's gonna end up watching it. But I didn't know that, and now I do. All right, so getting quite close to the end of my time here. And is this gonna be like the most awesome drawing I've ever done? It will not be, but that's okay. And interestingly, like I think I think this video like stays on my channel. Doesn't only exist when unless I delete it, obviously, but it doesn't only exist when I'm live. Wow, I forgot what I was going to say. But I think it's. What I was going to say was like, as I've been live, there haven't been a lot of people watching it, and I have realized that like I have become very, very comfortable with doing stuff like this, where it's like, yeah, so no one joined. Like I think what I can learn from trying something like this, even just in setting up the camera and stuff, like and just like, okay, I want to be this level of prepared before I do a live stream. And like I tried to have the sketch and the ink work done ahead of time, and I tried to, I had all my paints mixed ahead of time, and I had to figure out how to make my camera work with my phone. My phone is what I'm using for this. My phone work with a live stream. All that is helpful because I'd like to probably do something like this again. And then one day if people are on it live, then at least I'm not worrying about those things. And I need to do the shadow for his muzzle. I'm not going to worry about that as much. And I forgot what I was going to say. That happens. Okay, I'm going to try and darken his nose up a little bit, and then I'm going to have to shut it down. But for anyone who watches this later, thank you all so much. It's been really fun. It's been a really neat year. Wow, I think this is way darker than I meant. So super cool that the last thing I do is like a huge mistake. Oh man, I have to correct that. I think what I'm gonna do is bring it over like this. Yeah, this is the cool part about watercolor. But what I was saying was thank you so much, for all the folks who have, again, just watched any of these videos. It's really cool. I love hearing comments. I love learning about what other people's artistic processes are like, and just connecting with other artists is super cool. So yeah, thank you again. As soon as I can make this dark stuff not look, or make it look not terrible, then I'm going to be done. And I will do the 2024. I will color that in later. Anyway, but this is it. This is my last drawing of my dog, Watson, for 2024. And it's been a lot of fun. And looking forward to the next year. And I will talk to you all in the next video. Thanks so much.